Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Let me see. It didn't tell me how many people I have here yet, but we're a few seconds early. How's everyone? Here we go. So I'm going to get started. Hopefully, people start filtering in. Wow, one device says 4. Let's go do this and let's go back. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get started. So what I've wanted to do here is do this series, Wizardry 101. How to become a wizard, per se. But I guess before even doing that, right, we need to know what a wizard is, right? I think, for most people out there, I say the word wizard, especially in the mundane world, I say the word wizard or that I'm a wizard, and like the immediate reaction is, boy, someone watches too much Harry Potter. While, yeah, they are wizards, but there's a difference between fantasy wizards and real wizards. Just like the difference, think of it like this, the difference between TV witch and what a real witch is, right? We all don't dress in black. We're not green. We're not. That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm speaking for witches. Lucian Sidecar over there. Come over here and say hi. Look at there's his hand. Reach out a little bit more. Say hello.
Well, hello.
There he is.
And welcome. My name is Lucian Solera. And this is
is Widget.
And this is Wizardry. Oh my god! Okay, so since it's like wizardry, I could do this because it's like Harry Potter. So it's like, hello and welcome. My name is Lucian Solera, and this is Wizardry 101 with David Solera.
No.
What?
Well, never mind.
Or
We'll
the
get
Wiz.
to that. We'll get to that because part of going forward in this series is when people pick their wizard name.
Oh, that all the comments are.
Yeah, the thing's a little weird tonight. Sorry about that. Look at the comments just showed up now. Talk about technology being a little late.
Okay, wait, very quickly before I even do that, I need some advice, you guys. So I've been debating, I really need to edge myself out again. Should I keep all this up here long and shave all the side and back
How do I make a Y?
to bald?
Can't make a good Y.
Yes, no.
He looks so hot when it's the top long
And then shaved on the sides and back to bald.
No, well, don't say it like back to bald. It's just edged under there on the bottom.
I know, just saying.
Anyways, let's see. Hi, Opal. Hi, October. Hi, Lori. Hi, Earthy Phantom Seeker. Hi, Spitfire. Yeah, for some reason, Streamlabs is a little bit. All right, I'm going to put it up on my phone because Streamlabs is a little bit laggy with the comments. Oh, there they come. So Lori says yes. Definitely yes.
Hi, Dana.
Hi, Dana. How are you? Hi, Rowena.
Feeling?
How are you? Yeah, Dana, how are you feeling?
Hi, Rowena. Hi, Lori. Hi, Spitfire Cat. Hi, Trev. Hi, Diane.
Yeah, see?
October.
See, Opal says yes,
yeah, exactly
yes.
like
it's an
Cody's
undercut.
hair.
It's an undercut.
Yes, the undercut.
Yes, you should do it. Should be doing
Okay.
it. All right. Anyways,
It took me so long to grow this out. No, it didn't.
yeah,
It took me
but
like half a year.
the top is staying the same length. It's just the back. Okay, I got a lot of material to cover tonight. So,
Okay, bye guys. Love you all.
love you all. Anyways, so what is it to be? The wizard class, as British Lucian said, welcome to Wizardry 101. So, anyways, introduction. Oh, before I get started, this is the book that I am going to reference. It's called The Grimoire for the Apprentice Wizard. It's the one I'm always showing. So if you find that this series is really, really, really good for you, you can get this at Amazon and follow along, or they even have the Kindle version, and that's what I'm using is my iPad Pro, the Kindle version, which you can't see because it lets you highlight. So anyways, that's the book I'm using. So let's dive in. So course 1, Wizardry, class 1 concerning wizard. And the introduction is, what is a wizard? So I'm going to read some of this from the book. And the way this is laid out, in each section, there's like a quote. So we're going to start with a quote from Rosemary Guiley. And it references Encyclopedia of Witches and Witchcraft. So this is what she says. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the height of popularity of the village magician, it applied to a high magician, but also to various popular magicians who were very known by other names as well. Cunning men, cunning women, charmers, blessers, sorcerers, conjurers, and witches. After 1825, wizard became almost exclusively synonymous with witch. But this usage died out during the 20th century. Modern witches, a lot of them don't use that term. But let's explore, because I use that term. Wizard. What it is, wizard it comes from the Anglo-Saxon word wizard, W-Y-S-A-R-D, and that just means wise one. And it means it's usually a solitary practitioner of magic and repository of arcane knowledge, a lore master, a sage, magician, conjurer, sorcerer, a lot of that stuff that I just said. And one other piece is a person exceptionally gifted or clever at a specific activity. Like a computer wizard, right? This guy's a whiz with computers. So that's kind of basically what a wizard is. And already there is one aspect that, for me, begins the journey or the turn from witch to wizard for me, and that is practicing solitary. I've always been a solitary practitioner, meaning I've never been, not that I don't love groups and community, but I've never been part of a coven or an order, as they say in wizard. And we'll learn that there are some wizards that are part of orders and councils. But wizards are typically solitary practitioners. That's one differentiator with me, why I got drawn to using the word wizard. Anyways, we're going to move ahead. So the way this is going to work, so that's basically what a wizard is. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to try to break this down. Just basically follow along the book and break it down. If you have the book, it's broken down in like lessons and stuff like that. Anyways, the next lesson, which is lesson 3 in the book, and it's titled Between the Worlds of Magic and Mundane. Now you're probably asking, magic and mundane. I think a lot of you know that term, the term mundane, or for the Harry Potter fans, Muggles. But anyways, let's keep going. One of the most basic understandings of wizardry is that we live not just in a universe, but in a multiverse of many worlds. Now, a world is not merely the same thing as a planet, though planets are also referred to as worlds, especially those that may be inhabited. I don't use the word worlds. I am a big, and this is one of the foundational things that wizardry is based on, and I'll explain going as we go through some of these lessons how that ties in. But I do believe in the multiverse, but I don't use the term worlds. I use the term realms or planes, and what it is basically many different places in and out of reality. Now I'll say that again. The multiverse is an unlimited number of places in and out of reality. And what that means and what I believe is that there are lots of different realms, even within the dream realm. I believe when you meditate into other realms. Astral travel is, you're going to see other realms. Oh, Dana, thank you so much. Oh, I love you so much. So Dana just posted the link to the book, to this book. Yes. So yeah, there's those realms within reaching distance, right? This is what I call our conscious realm. But outside, now what about the stuff outside of this reality? Like other timelines and other, planes of existence, other dimensions. I believe in those too. And I believe that not only are they real, but you can tap into those. And that also comes in when we're talking about astral projection. You start small, hover above your body, and it gets bigger and bigger. And some that get very, very, very good at it can astral travel into other realms within the multiverse. Okay, enough. I'll try not to kind of zip off in directions, but I could talk about astral travel and the multiverse all day. So the wonderful Harry Potter books, by J.K. Rowling, present a mythos that is a foundation story that says beyond the borders of the mundane, Muggle, which she calls it, world, there's another world, right? So let me read that again. The wonderful Harry Potter books of J.K. Rowling present a mythos that's, like a story, that says beyond the borders of the mundane world, there's another world. So now we're already talking about kind of some multiverse theory, right? When they take that train to Hogwarts, where do they go? I mean, it could be anything from a huge place that's got a big protective bubble over it, right, of magic that the mundane can't see. Or is it another dimension of reality that they travel between? Kind of makes you think. So, talking about the word mundane. So I'm going to read again from the book. I used the word mundane just now to distinguish the ordinary, everyday, so-called normal world from the world of magic. We call the world mundania. So we are in mundania. And the people who live only in that world and to know no other, we sometimes call them mundanes or mundies. These words are not intended to be taken as insults nor should they be used in that way. It is only a way of acknowledging that they are indeed different worlds. That's what he puts in there. But I use the word mundane to describe, where I go every day, my mundane job. We get the mundane bills to pay and all the mundane stuff. And then there's the magical stuff, right? And that's where we like to live as much. And, there's no rule saying that you can't mix the two, right? Take some of your favorite crystals, put them at your desk, wear some of your crystals, right? There's ways of doing it. People meditate at work all the time. You could do it in your lunch break. Sometimes I do. In the summer or spring, I will, take a walk. So my work is right next door to a college campus. And I go on this walking path. It's a great, to me, it's kind of skirting into the magical world, because I'm by myself and I can kind of walk and meditate, not unconscious, kind of meditate, just kind of think. And, it lets me escape into that magical world. So those worlds can mix. Okay, so what I want to do now, as we move forward, and we start building on the, multiverse and the mundane, we're going to go through a little glossary of terms, and you don't have to memorize these. A lot of them are pretty common. So this is the section called Glossary, Wizard and Witches and Mages, oh my. He's got the author of this book's got a really kind of cool way of writing, and he's a little if you read up on him in the book, kind of I skipped over, but if you get the book, you can read about he gives a lot of insight into his own life. Really cool and some a little weird. Before I go into the glossary of terms, I'm gonna pop into the chat. Let me put this up there. This is the book that you can't click on the screen, but it's in the chat. Dana posted it. Let's see. I just want to take a quick peruse through the comments. I visited. Oh, so here we go. Here's why. Verena says, I visited one of those dream realms last week with a long nightmare that could have passed for Alice in Wonderland. Bridget Jones' Diary acid trip. The worst dream I've ever had. Yeah, I can believe it. But I can believe both of what you said. The nightmares, they can be intense. But I do believe that those are other realms. Now I did a few videos. Oh, they're on my other channel. Before we combine the channel, I might have to redo those. But I did a talk on astral travel, astral projection, and how I got to be able to be pretty good at it is a result of having night terrors as a kid. So I've been to those places. It's crazy, but yeah, definitely. Then it says, I hear bubbles. Yep. He's on the hookah. And Opal says, I had my amethyst near me, near my keyboard today as I wrote a paragraph of my story I'm writing. That's awesome. Yes, you tap into that energy because, right, we know our crystals all have all kinds of good energy. All right, glossary of terms.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that.
A little bit of, I don't know. Okay, glossary of terms, sorry. Wizard. This, like I said, this is from the Anglo-Saxon word wizard, which means wise one. A wizard is a law master, especially of arcane. And we kind of went through the wizard, what a wizard is. A wizard is also a magical practitioner, and on and on and on. Um, hold on. What is the matter?
It's not connecting.
Oh, would you want to use my big dukes? Matt, hold on. Lucian's having a technical difficulty. Yeah, put my big dukes on. You guys and your fancy wireless headphones. My headphones always work, and you want to know why? Because you plug them in.
Where does it go?
There's got to be a hole on there somewhere.
Oh, it's on the other side.
What I was going to say. All right, sorry. So wizard, the Anglo-Saxon word wise one. I think we have a good grip on what wizard is. The next one is visor or vizier, Vizier. So these are going to be type of magical people. So vizier. This title comes from the Arabic, meaning bearer of burdens. That title was given to the chief minister and advisor under the king. And then it goes on to say some of the most famous viziers of ancient Egypt. One was, I may butcher this name. Imhotep. I'm going to type it right in here. Let me see. Where the hell am I? Shit. Imhotep. So it's kind of spelt like that. And I'm going to call it, I guess it's I'm Hotep. I'm Hotep. And it says, yes, the mummy. He was the vizier of the pharaoh Djoser, and that's spelled Djoser. So basically they're the advisors to kings, I think I'm taking too long. All right, let's move it up. Speed it up. Next one is sage, right? We've all heard the word sage. Sage is usually an elderly person of sound judgment who has achieved wisdom through reflection and experience. Right. Next one's mystic. Mystic from the Greek mystai, mystai. That means someone who has been initiated into a secret mysteries or secret. So mystics tend to be more invite only. And he is a person with profound spiritual or otherworldly experience that gives him the deep intuition. Magician, that's a good one. Magician is simply any practitioner of the magical arts. There are performance magicians who create seemingly impossible illusions and feats with sleight of hand, right? Magicians like the entertainment magicians, that are doing card tricks. We know a magician who does that. Lucian, what's his name?
Who?
The magician guy we know. Or he's your friend.
The magician guy?
Remember the guy, the performer?
The performer?
We went to Waterfire to see him.
I forgot his name.
Okay. He's not that close. I hope he's not watching. What is it? Eric. His name's Eric. And he's a magician. So he does all kinds of tricks. There's that kind of magician. And that's typically when I use the word magician. That's what I am pointing towards. I don't consider wizards magicians. I just don't use the word that way, but it can be. Next word is alchemist. That is, someone, alchemy was the forerunner for modern chemistry. It's, working with herbs and stuff like that. The next one is seer. That's someone basically, is a person credited with extraordinary moral and spiritual insight. That's what the book says, right? Necromancer. Someone who conjures up spirits of the dead to speak with them and learn hidden knowledge and secret information, and to foretell the future. Today, people who usually do this are called mediums or channelers, or I think even in Lucian's in voodoo, they're called conjurers. I think that's the term. I'll be corrected if it's not. Prophet, we know what prophet is. Prophets are people who, usually are divinely inspired preachers who often speak on behalf of gods and goddesses, which is a little different from philosopher. That's the next word. From the earliest beginnings in ancient Greece, philosophers have sought to understand the underlying principles of nature, of life in the universe, and everything. Philosopher. Shaman, spiritual leaders in traditional tribal cultures, right? And then to the last one on the list is witch. So what is a witch? In medieval Europe and Britain, cunning women were often called Wicce, Wicce. It's an Anglo-Saxon word meaning shaper, from which we get the term witch. This word in turn comes from Middle High German Wicken, Wicken, which meant to conjure. Modern witches include both men and women, and much of their magic is directed towards healing of people and earth. Many witches also practice divination and magical techniques for the evolution of consciousness. So, that's kind of like the base of the, it's kind of like this is the introductory part of it. Now we're going to start getting into some of the meat. How long have we been going? 26. We got plenty of time. Because now we're going to get into some of the meat of this. Next lesson, lesson 4, the rules of wizardry. Right? Yes, they are rules. Very similar, right? Wiccans have what's called the Wiccan Raid. And I'm sure Lucian will tell you there's rules of in voodoo. Right? Every avenue has rules. Well, so doesn't wizardry. Okay. With every new thing you have learned in life, there has been a set of rules. In kindergarten, you learn to share, not to push. In soccer or baseball, you learn the rules of the game, the boundaries, and how to keep score. Right? It's the same thing in wizardry, in the magical world. So what is magic? Magic is the art and science of manipulating probability. Right? You think about it when we do a ritual. We're trying to influence something. We're sending healing. Maybe we're doing a money ritual. We're trying to influence. And that's kind of where wizards view magic. I envision myself I envision as part of my ritual and spell it happening, but I envision myself manipulating the universe to make it happen. And I think this is why with wizards, some of the rules are very important. Everything has reaction. Some folks don't believe that and that's okay, right? To each their own. You just got to do what your heart, where your heart pulls you. But as a wizard, I'm a big believer in karma, and I'm a big believer in that. There's reaction to everything. That's why I'm very cautious. Like I never, very rarely, if ever. No, I never do any sort of offensive black magic because you pay for that. Right? Even doing protective, right? But when it's now when you think about it, right? Because I will do protective and binding. But there's reactions to that too. But when I'm doing a protective spell, I'm casting on me, right? So any consequence I'm casting is going to be within. In terms of doing protection spells that are aimed at yourself, it cancels it out. It's those times we find, some people might do spells to influence love. And it may work, but there's going to be an opposite reaction, The first fight might be a doozy, because there's that reaction. Everything's a balance. Okay, here are the rules of wizardry. Rule number 1, magic is real. Right? We don't do these rituals just for the just to hear ourselves talk. We believe it. You've got to believe that magic is real. Right? Magic is both an art and an experimental science. I don't have much comments on that one. I mean, it really is, right? If you look at, our altars, the way we dress when we're doing ritual, it is an art. There's nothing more beautiful than a really beautiful thought out ritual. Intention controls results. I've said this before. It's all about the intent, because the intent is what controls the results. You may be reciting a chant for a spell, and you might tongue twist it. That I'm not the best with the tongue, right? But that's okay. You pick up and you move on, because the intent really controls that result. Don't invoke what you can't banish. It's an important one. Don't really go into areas or cast into areas that you may not be ready for. I even mentioned this in astral travel when I did those videos. Start small. Start with lucid dreaming first. You don't want to go headfirst into something that you don't have the tools to control. So don't invoke what you can't banish. Always consider the options, right? Think about what you're trying to achieve with said spell. Make sure it's the best way to get the desired results, right? You may want to do a spell, a money spell, right? So you sit there and you do this spell, and you're concentrating, and you're just thinking of the money aspect coming. That's it. You're drowning in money. Well, remember what I said, that there's reactions to that. You could will. Think about it. You could be doing this money spell, but where does it come from? You don't want it to come from the passing of a relative, like via an inheritance, right? But when you're not really directing or focusing that spell, the universe is going to find a way to pay for that. So now instead you cast a spell where, I don't want to cast a spell to be rich. I want to cast a spell to get my dream job that makes me rich. Well, that doesn't have such a bad consequence, right? That's why, cast a spell to get that promotion. Consequences, the other guy's not going to get it. Too bad. So always consider the options. Know yourself. This ties into, not invoking what you can't banish. Know yourself. Know where you are. Right? Know your intention. You've got to really know yourself before you start doing any sort of, magical casting. Be watchful of what you do and say. Yeah, I mean, and that's a good practice in life altogether, is just to be mindful what you say. I tend to open my big mouth lots. But yeah, you want to, conduct yourself in, I had to say it like in a more wizardly way, but it's just kind of be mindful. Again, all right, I don't have a whole lot of that one. trying to bullshit through that line, because that's one rule I never never really got. Next rule: question authority. Absolutely. I always question things. I don't do it in a disrespectful way, right? There's a way to question. Your boss wants to achieve something. Instead of saying, no, I'm not doing that, you'll be like, well, what if we do it this way? It's actually, happens a lot in tech. They'll say, can you do this, and this? And I'll be like, well, how about if we do it like this instead? It'll give you the same result. And that's more best practice for industry. Oh, boom. I won the argument already, because he's happy that he's getting what he wants, and I'm happy that I'm doing it the right way. Right? But that's questioning authority, right? Some people will be like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. It's the wrong way, but whatever. Oh, you want you want to fix that leak with some duct tape? Sure. There you go. It's all wrapped up. Now, you want to question authority, right? Why?
I'm questioning you.
Why is a very powerful word, right? The best way to predict the future is to create it. Oh, that's an interesting one, because it's true, right? We're trying, and part of what you're babbling over there.
Sorry.
A lot of what we're trying to do when we cast spells and do ritual, is to change things. And those things are mostly, in the future. Well, you get into that mode of creating your future. What's that? Do you have some advice? Don't sit on the cat.
Oh, sorry. Hi, guys. I'm back. And I have some advice for you. When it comes to casting spells, make sure you stick to the garden path.
Okay, bye. Yeah, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Let me see. I'm curious what. All right. Anyways, no. Okay. Next one. Keep silent regarding a magical work for 24 hours, lest your analysis create doubt, thereby weakening the intention that binds your spell. When you cast a spell, especially if it's a solitary spell, it really is not a good idea to go post on Facebook, hey, I just casted a spell for, so-and-so to fall in love with me, or I just casted a spell for that promotion at work. No, keep quiet keep it to yourself for at least 24 hours. That way the spell will set, the intent will set. And then, once you get beyond that point of time when intention is set and things are in motion, then you can talk about it. And the last rule: the job isn't done until you've put away the tools and cleaned up the mess. Okay, that's a little funny, but it's true. You really want to, when you're done casting a spell, and everything is done, like you might do some candle magic. I do a lot of candle magic. So you cast that spell, I'll let the candles burn down, and then you just kind of clean up what you've used. That's pretty straightforward stuff. Okay. So that's the rules of wizardry. So here's you guys have your first task. I didn't tell you there was going to be homework. You guys probably do this already. The magical journal. How many of you out there keep grimoires or journals or diaries? Excuse me. We call them magical journals. And you can put anything in there, really. You can have multiple ones. You're going to have a magical journal where you just write down, just your thoughts for the day. It's great to do that because that lets you go back and review things. It's fascinating. It's fascinating when you keep a journal and you've had that journal for like a year and you go back and see what you've done like the year before. Very fascinating. And you're going to have spell journals where you put your ritual and spell down in there. I keep a dream journal. That helps me. I love to take a look and analyze my dreams and stuff like that. So in the book, right, the task, your first homework assignment, if you don't have a grimoire or a journal of sorts, start one. Get a it'd be simple. It could be electronic, right? So if you don't have a journal, start a journal. You could even, make it a Word document and just do it electronically. I find the old booky paper stuff is better for me. It gives you that tactile feel. So let's see. I want to go to the comments. Yeah, a lot of you guys have journals. Awesome. Right? Tessa has a journal. Opal says there's homework. Yes, there is. Do you, Opal, have a journal? If not, you better get one. Ozak says I keep journals. Yeah, I think a lot of, right? Lisa keeps journals. Lori has a grimoire. Opal does journal. Very good. That Bob girl, I have many, and sadly they like I'm a journal collector. Okay. Well, you got to take one and just write down your thoughts of the day in there. Let's see. Auntie Mama Owl has a journal. Do you have a journal though? Book Lioness says, so it's good. I like that a lot of you guys are journaling already. So this one, that's a no-brainer. Let's see what he says. You imagine I want you to write something just about every day. So this particular journal he's talking about is like the daily journal. And he says, in your magical journal, I want you to write down something just about every day. Just like the captain's log. You Trekkies out there will get that. But yeah, absolutely. Journals are good. Okay. What time are we at? All right, 42 minutes. Let's push on one more section. And we'll see how that goes. Because we are on class 2, Becoming a Wizard. You're a wizard. I love the quotes he's gotten here. You're a wizard, Harry, and a thumping good one, I'd wager, once you train up a little. Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain when you were angry or scared? I love that line from the movie. Okay, part 1, introduction. What a wizard needs to know. I asked some members of the Grey Council to make a list of what they thought a wizard ought to know and be able to do. Here are some of the answers. These things are true of all wizards I know. To learn all this is a lifelong quest. But for you, it'll begin here, with this book, with your apprenticeship. So the Grey Council, basically the other wizards and witches that run the Grey School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So a lot of them are teachers. They do a lot of online seminars and stuff like that. Okay. A wizard should be a constant student of life. See the divine in nature and the nature in the divine. Not say a word and be clearly heard. Lead without force and teach without pride. Take the most mundane things and surroundings, sense their inner magic, and be able to open that window for others. Stare into the dark infinity of the night sky and feel it as an awesome source. Love the beauty of paradox and always be able to see the cosmic humor in the darkest of times. Be a shapeshifter to blend in or be invisible if needed, and make those around feel safe and heard. Maintain this calm center and clear mind when all about him is chaos. Open his inner eyes and really see. Say, I don't know, and realize that that is great wisdom. It is okay. Have compassion for all beings and know when to be a healer and when to be a witness. Know the secrets of magic are bestowed upon the open-hearted. Speak to the gods and know he is heard. Cast a sphere of protection and light. Make up his own mind, walk his own path, and never follow another blindly. Know the courage and power of nonviolence and swift strength of a keen mind. Conjure a tale or myth that the moment requires to be understood. Know the plants and creatures of the wild enough to call them friends and allies. See the god and goddess within all and everyone, and have a spirit that glows in the dark. It's kind of really cool. A wizard should be able to master self-control, share freely, keep their environment clean, and just design their lives. Above all else, a wizard knows himself, what drives him, and his weaknesses. For without this knowledge, he is not a wizard at all. Interesting. So those are some of the things folks have so answered. Okay. Let's see. We're at 47 minutes. All right. So the next part is lesson 2, your apprenticeship, my mentorship. That's what it's titled. We're going to stop here because we're almost at 47 minutes. And I want to go to the comments for a sec. Because there's some good ones here. Hi, that Bob girl. That's okay. All that kind of hi. Hi for everyone. I get it. Never can figure out. I'm just going to go to looking through some of these comments. Sorry. So Opal says, I really want this book. Definitely, at least get the Kindle version. If you have like a Kindle or an iPad, it's less expensive. Or you can get it on Amazon. And if you scroll up, Dana posted the link. And it's like $20. It's not a very expensive book at all. It's only $20. So Rowena says, if you stop learning and think you know everything, you rot. Absolutely. Absolutely. The world is ever changing. And, the best of wizards understand that they're students of life. The best of witches and wizards, believe that. You can't stop learning. You've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. No. Who said that? Is that Kenny Rogers? But actually, it is very, very, very accurate. That's a reference to I want to say to poker, the card game. But right, it's in that kind of like really making good sound judgment calls. It's just knowing when to hold them, when to fold them, and just get up and walk away. Yeah, there we go. There is the link to the book again. Just click that. Oh, wow. It's on sale for $15.99. Oh, guys, you're going to buy it. You've got to get... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's $24.95 Canadian. Okay, still not too bad. And let's see. I agree. There's something to learn every day. Yeah, we're constantly learning. That's the thing. All right. So before we wrap it up for the night, put some comments down below, or what you think of this. Is this you guys interested in this? And as we go through the book, it really kind of picks up. It starts a little bit. It starts a little bit basic. And it's just, this book is kind of targeted for all ages. So it does start a little bit basic. Plus, I think it's also targeting folks that maybe aren't full on in their magical lives. But it picks up, and there's really some fascinating stuff in here that we will eventually get to. So let me know down below what you guys think. If you have any questions, you can put them down below, or if you want to post them in the chat while I'm still babbling, you can do that too. But yeah, if you post any questions down below, I will try to read them and maybe print them out and answer them, kind of like in instead of just posting the answer, do it on the next show. Yeah, basic is always good. Yeah, because we all start at different levels, right? And the important takeaway to this, I mean, I'm not here to try to kind of change and convert people, but it, excuse me, but it's a great perspective. And you'll see how this perspective kind of intertwines with traditional paganism / witchcraft. But it is a very unique perspective. This is going to be a weekly thing, Opal, absolutely. I'm going to, during the week, I will create a chunk of material from the book. And yeah, we're going to do this every week. There is a companion book that goes along with this book. Let me see if I have mine here. Oh, hold on. I'm going to get it. I'm going to knock everything over, like every single tarot deck I have. It's this book, The Companion for the Apprentice Wizard. This one doesn't have a price. Oh yeah, this one's also $20. I will let you know. I think, I mean, this book is good to get. But I think starting out, we're probably not gonna use this yet. This is more of a companion guide where it has a lot of practical rituals and spells and this kind of different stuff in it. Let's see. I'm not going to use it right away, because $40 is a lot to expect folks to go out and spend. So we'll stick to the grimoire for now, and we'll see, where it goes, and I'll let you know if it starts looking like we're going to use the companion. I'll let you guys know, but it won't be for a while. All right, guys. So yes, this is going to be a weekly thing. Thank you for joining. And like I said, comment down below, like and subscribe, and even share. If you know someone that's really into wizardry, share the series with them. It'll be, I don't know, it'll add to their day. Don't forget, where is it? Banners. Don't forget our Facebook group, Crossed Paths, spelt just like that. Instagram. Oh yeah, and Lucian's Instagram.
Yours.
Yeah, I'm not going to add it. I don't even know the name of mine yet. I will add it eventually.
Talk.
I have nothing to talk. I'm saying bye.
Hold on.
All right. Yeah. What is it?
It's Wait. Type. Hi guys. 1 second.
INSTAGRAM :
Yours is the
_.
Wiz
Oh, that's right.
_1.
That's right. Do I do that? Oh, okay.
Bam.
There we go. That's my Instagram. The Wiz one. Anyways, thank you guys for joining. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll be back again next week. Mwah! Love
Bye,
you all.
guys.
Bye, guys. Oh, gotta click the end broadcast.